All right. Hello, and welcome to Witchy Wednesdays. I'm Ashley. Some of you know me, some of you may not. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to be here with you today. I am going to go ahead and give this a few minutes and see who pops in. We have a few people. Welcome, beautifuls. Today's show is a little different. Today's show is all about you guys. This is, well, I guess I shouldn't say just today's show. This show in general. This show is all about you. What are you interested in? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to learn about? This show is a safe space for us to discuss several things, anywhere from divination practices. Do you want to talk about tarot? Like, how do you know what cards to choose? Oracle cards, what's the difference? Morning. How are you doing today? It is just such a pleasure to have you join us this morning. This is a place, should you feel called to want to learn more about healing, should you want to learn to know more about yourself and what calls to you and your heart, this is a safe space for us to grow together. So, good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Barbarella. It is such a pleasure to have you join me today. This is something new. This is a different type of show. So I have gone ahead and I really wanted to build a space where we can have discussions and we can go into spiritual topics, and do so without judgment, without fear, without anything of that sort. So this show is completely based on, what we're looking to cultivate in our lives. Good morning, Jeff. Welcome. So for the future shows, just to kind of let you guys know, I know people are still popping on here, so I guess I should slow my roll a little bit. Just give it another minute here. But, it's like I said, this show is a little different. Every show moving forward will actually be based on a topic that you guys vote on. And so this way, everybody's getting information about something that they're interested in. And guess what? If a topic that you're interested in isn't chosen one week, it could be, the next week. And so this is just to create community and to really cultivate something. I'm going to say magical. So a little bit of background, because I am all about transparency. This was created because I feel like there is such a need for a safe space when diving into topics. And I don't want anybody to feel, judged. And I don't want anybody to feel like any question isn't worthy to ask. And I say that because as I continue to go through my spiritual process and my healing process, had there been something like this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it would have been really, really helpful. And it's my job then now to create it for you guys. I was, going through some hard energy last year. And when I say that, I know a lot of people were, last year was rough. But I had several different lessons and several different healings that needed to happen that were, let's just say, they were way more than I could ever have imagined. And one of the big major healings that I had was actually just at the end of January. And a lot of things came to light with that. And this is why when we go through the spiritual process and we find a space to connect and we find a space to grow in comfort, it's because it helps cultivate these healings. If I wasn't comfortable where I am now, if I hadn't grown as much as I've grown in the last few years, the healing that happened would not have happened. And it happened while I was getting my Karuna Reiki Masters. And Karuna Reiki is a higher vibrational Reiki. So it actually is I use Holy Fire Reiki paired with the Karuna, and it is actually works in tandem with the violet flame. And so it's very strong and it's very high vibrational. And it assisted me in releasing and basically healing parts of me that I had no idea needed to be healed. Stuff from way back in childhood that I never associated with needing to be healed. There was a whole, let's just say, different avenue that the healing took that I was not, knowing it would take. Spirit has a reason and for everything. And, this is why I've built this space. This is why I want to have us a safe space to connect, because I could say, walk in spirit, walk in soul. And a lot of you won't know what I'm talking about. And I am still learning what that means. But what I can say is that wordage resonates with me on a very strong level. And so, like I said, as we grow in spirituality and we grow into who we are and we learn more about our passions, what calls to us, is it herbs? Is it, as simple as cooking with love? Cooking with love is, in its sense, kitchen witchery, is it not? Because you are instilling that intention of love into every grain that you are making, every little thing that you are in the process of creating. So I want to know from you guys, the ones that are here with me today, what topics are you interested in? What do you want to learn about? What do you want to dive deeper into? Because I can talk all day about myself and I don't want to. So don't make me. No, but let's look at this. What topics are you interested in? What do you want to learn about? Because guess what? That topic is going to be for the next show, which is in March. And that show will, like, a deeper dive way into that. And I think it'll be a great thing for you guys to learn. We can discuss anything. If you guys want to know more about the elements, do you guys want to know more about, building a morning practice? Do you want to learn more about meditation techniques? It could be anything and everything. So please do not allow yourselves to be afraid, I guess, of not opening your truth. Barbarella, healing. That is one of my favorite topics. Healing is hands down one of my favorite topics because there's so many different modalities. There's different ways, there's different connections. There's so much to be said about taking and honoring yourself to make that hard decision to heal. And so if you want to discuss healing in the next show, I am 100% all about that. The elements, synchronicities, grounding, that is awesome. Those are beautiful, absolutely beautiful topics. I'm going to actually tell you a little story from the other day. And this is where Spirit just absolutely gives us what we need when we need it. I was walking around the park trying to connect, and I could not stop my mind from basically thinking about, the other job, the corporate job. And it wouldn't stop. My mind was just repeat. And I'm at the park, and that's my space. I do my walks, I meditate. So it was really sad. And I actually at one point had something catch my eye in the sky. And I look up, and there's very, very, very few people around. So I look up, and above me are two hawks or falcons. They could be either, honestly. They were high up there. And they were just circling around each other, doing this beautiful dance. And my mind just stopped. Those thoughts about the other place disappeared. I was able to breathe. I was able to look at that and know Spirit is with me. And it's moments like that that really trigger the understanding that Spirit will always be there for us. And because I say that, I literally looked down because there was a couple coming towards me, and I looked back up, and the hawks were gone. But I got what I needed in that moment from Spirit. And it was a beautiful thing to have happen. And so those can be tied in with those synchronicities of what do you need in that moment? And Spirit is always there to talk to us, even if we're stubborn and don't always want to listen. Me. I'm that person. But yeah, we can talk about the elements, grounding. We can talk about healing. Jeff, you might be interested. I am going to actually be having a class next month that is geared toward, it's a series, and it's geared towards the elements and cultivating our connection with it, with air, earth, fire, water, and spirit. And so that may be something that you'd be interested in. It's a beautiful push for all of us, myself included, to create a practice that honors ourselves, honors the spirits, honors the elements, honors, you know, where we are and what we're about. There's so much beauty out there, and there's so much to learn. And when we take that step towards growth, don't sell ourselves short. Let's try not to sell ourselves short. Let's try not to hide. And I'm going to call myself out on this one because I can tell you, as we, Barbarella, since you're interested in some healing, just to kind of give you like a little bit of an idea. And we'll absolutely save more for a different show. But, we had very strong energy last year. And that energy basically, what is the word I am looking for? Triggered something within me. And I had 6 months last year of really low vibrational energy. And there was a lot of pain happening and a lot of heartache and a lot of stuff that was coming up from my childhood because, one thing that in the way I grew up the sick kid. I was in and out of the hospital all the time. Like, it just all the time. And when you're gifted and you don't know it, and all these other different things that happen in life, spiritually speaking, there was a lot of stuff that happened during that time period that I wasn't aware of. And what happened is one of the things that came up, which I'm not going to go into too strongly here, it basically triggered feelings of survivor's guilt. And I couldn't understand where it came from. And it triggered fears associated with the hospitals, which I never had growing up. Because growing up in the hospital, I was always the one that had to be strong. And as an empath and as a kid where you don't understand, your gifts, and I didn't understand my gifts until a few years ago. So, like I said, understand that. Like, I just a few years ago have started to learn about myself and my gifts and everything like that. So when I've had all these feelings come up of, and then I take that Karuna class, I was purging stuff that I had no idea was even really there. I am a medium, but I don't practice mediumship at this time. And I don't practice mediumship at this time because I need to learn more about my boundaries, and I need to learn about how to keep myself protected in a much stronger way. Because, growing up through all of that trauma and everything that I was discussing, you make spiritual connections and you make spiritual contracts. And some of those contracts, were ready to expire. And I wasn't prepared for the extent in which I had those connections and contracts. And so the healing was intense. Not going to go into it, but it was intense. And so this is why I push everybody to try to heal, because I know who I was a few years ago and I knew who I am now, and I'm still learning who I am. And I can tell you who I was a few years ago and who I am sitting behind, on this screen right here with you guys is so not the same person. I've literally have gone through such extensive stuff. And so spirituality is such a blessing to us, right? Spirituality is honoring our ancestors, honoring the elements, honoring our archangels, honoring Creator, Mother. If you want to give thanks to goddesses and gods and whatever it is that you resonate spiritually. It can be God and Jesus. It could be, it could be Norse, paganism. It can be Celtic. It can be all sorts of walks of this earth have different spiritual practices and different beliefs. Whatever you are drawn to the most, honor yourself and honor that, because there's truth in that. And I am not going to be that person that says religion is the answer to everything. I truly believe that people are out there and they're made to have religion in their lives, and they're made to have that spiritual connection, and that's in their spiritual contracts, and that's their love language. And that's fine. My love language, I take a more paganistic route because I don't want to shove my spiritual beliefs in a box. But what does that mean? Guess what? I have my archangels that I work with. Just because I'm pagan doesn't mean I don't have them and I don't believe in them. I have a very strong connection with the elements, and it's even stronger than I would have thought of you, months ago. And I'm constantly growing and learning more about that. And so this program, what I want everybody to take out of it most is that you have a safe space to speak your mind. You have a safe space to ask your questions. You have a safe space to grow in your spirituality, to grow in your beliefs, to grow in your practices. You have a safe space to grow in all that you are and all that you want to be. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. This space is that. And this is why I want us to dive into the healing, into the elements and the synchronicities and grounding. And I know that as we go through this, more topics will come up. And I don't want to shy away from difficult topics either. So if you have a topic that you're interested in, obviously, like I said, not political, please. We can talk that as well, because everything leads to growth. And that's what we are on this earth to do. Everything leads to a better and much more fulfilled life. We all have a path. We all have a purpose. We all have a reason for being here. We signed those contracts. We said, okay, I'm doing it. And now we just have to give ourselves permission to really do it. There's so much fear out there in the world, and there's so much ego, and there's so much doubt and worry and judgment and all these different poisons. And it is our job to learn more about ourselves so we do not allow the poisons to ruin and to truly affect us. It's taking those steps back and recognizing. So if you guys have any questions, for right now, please feel free to pop it on. I will absolutely love to answer anything if I can. Higher self and how to reach and tune in. That is a wonderful one. That is a wonderful one. I think that connecting to our higher self is extremely needed. I also know that there's worry about it. You want to make sure you're in a safe space. You want to make sure, you're comfortable and protected. And that, I feel like, will be an excellent topic. And so thank you for putting that out there, Jeff. Sorry, guys. Stopping fear in your mind. Girlfriend, that's a big one. That's a biggie. And I feel like that is an excellent topic as well. Fear is such a powerful opposition. Fear is such a powerful, thing to face. It's not easy to face fear. And so I want everybody watching to take that in. Facing fears and facing those terrifying moments. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of honor of yourself to make that decision to face those. And I would be honored, beyond honored, to go ahead and discuss that with you. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I am going to see, let's go ahead. I'm going to write down all of these topics. And what I would like to do right now is let's take a vote. And it could just be in the comments real quick. What is the top thing that we want to discuss for the next show? It can be, let's narrow it down. I'm going to start with healing. And I'm going to start with healing or higher self. Healing or higher self. So let's go ahead, pop it in the comments. What is the topic for the next show? Healing or connecting to your higher self? So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and put that in. And then let's see here. You guys, I just want to say thank you. I've been so busy. I haven't really had an opportunity to really push this show out there. And so for you guys showing up today, I'm beyond honored and I'm beyond thankful. So thank you for joining. But yeah. All right. So we're wrapping up here to the end of today's show. The next one, like I said, we will discuss either healing or higher self. I will see if I can create a poll and get that posted so we can, move forward and have great discussions and great toppings. Isn't reaching your higher self, you'll heal then? I want to say yes and no. I feel like obviously a lot of the healing that we have is connected with our higher self. Because let's face it, our higher self is our spirit point, right? It knows all of our past lives, the karmic stuff that we need to heal. And when I say karmic, it's not just like, oh, bad karma. No, this is traumas and this, that, and the other thing. But, and I say, but I feel like connecting to your higher self can be its own topic, because I feel like there's more to it than just that. And where I feel healing is more than just that, the higher self as well, because it could be cellular. Healing can be cellular. It can be cosmic. It can be karmic. It can be, they are somewhat tied together, but they're also in a way have their separations. So if you guys want me to tie the two together, I absolutely can. So let's do that. So for the next show, I can do higher self and healing. And you can see where the connections can be made, but you'll also be able to see where they can also stand apart. And so I think that will be a great topic for discussion. And we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Okay, so we'll pair the two together, but we'll make it so you guys can also see where they come together and where they separate. And I feel like that will be a beautiful plan. So keep in mind other topics that you want. Keep in mind, everything that we've discussed today. I will 100% write down all of the topic choices that you guys have shared. And so we can go ahead and have a beautiful and amazing next, few shows. So you guys have a much blessed and very, very beautiful day. I wish you guys so much love in the world. And so with this time, I'm going to end the show here. And I will see you guys in March. Bright blessings all. Love you. Bye.